Hi, welcome to Psalms today. New look, new book. We're in book 2 of Psalms and we're starting off with Psalm 42. Different setting. I hope the sound is okay on this video. The lighting's a bit funny. I wish you could see the beauty of the countryside behind me. But let's jump into this psalm. Interestingly, the issue that we want to notice here, remember in every one of these videos I want to point out one detail to help us read the psalm today and then one detail to help us apply the psalm today. So the detail to help us read it is geography. Notice that in this psalm, location is an issue, and it comes up in a variety of different ways. The writer of the psalm begins famous words, "As a deer pants for flowing streams, so pants my soul for you, O God. My soul thirsts for God, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God?" There's a question right there that is a location question. I want to come before God. He's talking about the temple, about worship, procession, and so on. And he's saying when? He's in a location, presumably, where there are deer panting for water. And that's kind of speaking to him of his own soul, panting and longing, thirsting for God. It's not that he's on some kind of contemplative retreat. He's in difficult circumstances. Notice verse 3, "My tears have been my food day and night, while they say to me all the day long, where is your God?" There's a question from his taunting enemies who are looking at his circumstances, recognizing the distance perhaps that he is away from his normal environment. And the question isn't so much about his geography, but God's. Hey, you're out here, you're struggling, you're suffering, you're weeping. Where's your God? You see, that's a bigger question, isn't it? Where's God in the midst of this? It's a question that we all ask when we're going through tough times. Well, a little bit more locational information in verse 4. He pours out his soul and talks about going with the throng and leading them in the procession. With glad shouts and songs of praise, a multitude keeping festival. And then we get verse 5, which is a refrain. "Why you cast down, O my soul? Why are you in turmoil within me? Hope in God. I shall again praise him, my salvation and my God." Well, we get a bit more information in verse 6. "My soul is cast down within me, therefore I remember you from the land of Jordan and of Hermon, from Mount Mizar." Now, Jordan is north of Israel, right? Mount Hermon is way north of Galilee. Right up there, it's a big distance away. And so this person who's writing this is far, far from Jerusalem, where they want to be. And there's the kind of geographical location for us. Circumstances described, verse 7, the waterfalls, the breakers, the waves. God seems to be oppressing, like the circumstances are so heavy. He's struggling, and yet, verse 8, "By day the Lord commands his steadfast love. At night his song is with me," a prayer to the God of my life. What does he pray? Well, in light of his circumstances, "I say to God, my rock, why have you forgotten me? Why do I go mourning because of the oppression of my enemy? As with a deadly wound in my bones, my adversaries taunt me. While they say to me all the day long," there's the question again, "where is your God?" And so you've got this geographical tension throughout the psalm. The writer is up north, away from Jerusalem. He wants to be in Jerusalem, worshiping God, leading the procession, involved in the praise of God and the presence of God in a tangible sense. But where he is, his circumstances seem really challenging, really difficult. And it's not just circumstances, but enemies gathering around and saying, "Hey, where is your God?" We can feel that, can't we? We can feel like we're away from where we want to be, even physically. Maybe, if only I could be at church, if only I could be at that Christian conference, if only I could be on that spiritual mountaintop again. Instead, I'm here in this wilderness, in this difficult circumstance. And maybe it's circumstance, maybe it's people that are mocking and saying, "Where is your God?" Well, that is kind of the geographical, locational stuff helps us to understand Psalm 42. But how do we apply it? Well, in verse 5, and again here in verse 11, we have this refrain. "Why are you cast down, O my soul?" How can we apply this psalm today? By preaching. I don't know if you're a preacher or not. but you need to be. You need to be a preacher to your own heart, to your own soul. Here he's asking his own soul a question. Why are you in turmoil within me? And then he's giving his own soul a command, hope in God. For I shall again praise him, my salvation and my God. Well, there's an application, I think, for all of us. When we're going through the challenging times, we need to remember to preach. Preach to our own soul. Remind ourselves. Take our heart by the scruff of its neck. Push it up against the wall. And in all, loving care and gentleness, but quite forcefully, remind yourself to hope in God. Remind yourself that God is your life, that God is the one you can trust, that God, even if he seems distant, is with you. Preach to yourself so that your heart will hope in him. Well, that's Psalm 42. Please share highlights in the box below. Share with your friends, share the video, whatever is helpful. But let's enjoy Psalm Book 2 in the coming weeks. Thank you.